Today I show you an affordable DIY build to make your bass drum mic float in the air. Bass drum mics. Simple in theory, a little difficult when it comes to real world applications because unlike many drums on the drum set, we don't just slap one mic on it and call it a day. A bass drum is tricky. It's large, it has lots of different frequencies that it's actually trying to produce, and you're not necessarily going to get all of those from one particular position. You'll often see a condenser mic sitting outside on the resonant side of the bass drum, capturing all that lovely boom and ring from the low end of the resonant head. You'll often see a dynamic mic sitting in the porthole of a bass drum to get that nice mid-range beef, and inside the kick you'll often see one of these, a boundary style condenser microphone, slid in through the porthole, sitting on top of a pillow or towel on the inside of the bass drum, and what this does is it captures all that wonderful click and slap that you get from the beater hitting the batter side of the head. Awesome. But what if you're one of those people that want to run a wide open bass drum sound? Or say you use pre-muffled heads and you don't need to muffle your bass drum anymore by putting a towel or pillow in it. How are you going to use one of these microphones to capture that nice knock on the inside of the bass drum? Now this is where something like a Kelly shoe microphone mount comes into play. These are an awesome idea, basically based off of the suspension style cradles you often see condenser mics in on mic stands, but applied to a bass drum. It allows the bass drum mic to float in space, keep a consistent position, relieve any strain on any leads pulling anywhere, and just mean that you can have whatever muffling solution you want in your bass drum and not be ruled by having to float one of these guys on a pillow. Now this is a great product, and the flats version that they make to fit these boundary style microphones is awesome. You could just go out and buy it, but they retail for about $100 here in Australia. And I don't know about you, but I like saving money. So instead of spending $100 on the genuine article, I'm going to show you how I made my DIY version for less than half of the cost in about half an hour. But before that, a word from today's video sponsor, you. That's right, the Patreon page. I wanted to take a quick moment to thank everyone who has been subscribed and supporting the channel over the last couple of months. Your support means a lot and it goes a really long way to helping me make these videos. In fact, all of the stuff that I bought for today's video was paid for by your subscriptions. So if you would like to see more DIY builds or more stuff like this, I would love it if you would go over and check out the Patreon page. Not only that, for subscribing, you get access to extra content and all of the drum samples that I take when I do my snare tone recreation videos and a whole bunch more. But enough of that, back to the build. For this project, you'll need the following: a drill, a mounting plate. In this case, I used these shims that I found at my local hardware store, eyelets, some 4mm shock cord, some polyester webbing ribbon, some Velcro, and these little hooks to clip everything together. First, I tape up the ends of the plate and line up where the mic will sit. I mark 4 points on the corners of the plate and drill out a small hole on each. These are for the 4 hooks that will attach to the shock cord. As you can see, the hooks sit nicely in place and don't touch the microphone. After attaching the hooks, I add Velcro to the back of the mic and place it where I want it on the mounting plate. If you have multiple mics, now is a good time to align all of the Velcro so you can swap them out easily later. Now we need to cut some short lengths of polyester ribbon. This is a little fiddly as the cord can fray, so to avoid this, you can melt the edges with a heat source like a lighter once you've cut it. Unfortunately, mine had run out of gas when I made this, so I was stuck dealing with some running threads. Once you have your lengths cut, snip a small cross section into the ribbon around 1 to 2 centimeters from the edge. Push through one of the eyelets and squeeze it closed. These holes will be for the other side of the shock cord hooks. Over to the bass drum now, remove the lug screws closest to the heads on each side and poke a small hole into the other side of the polyester straps. Push the lug screw through and reattach it back to the lug. I made sure that the straps were tightened down, sitting in the same position each time. Now cut 4 matching lengths of cord, slide the small circular end cap over the cord and push the cord all the way into the hook before sliding the end cap up to lock it in place. Repeat this for both ends on all 4 lengths of cord. Now this is where your mileage may vary, as you'll need to experiment with the lengths of shock cord to fit your bass drum size, the lug position, and to accommodate for the tension of the particular cord that you have, as some are more rigid than others. My first attempt was a little too slack, but it's easy to pop open the hook caps and trim the cord until it's the right tension. Once it's all in place, give it a test and see how much it moves. And that's it. Simple as that. I've had this mount on my kit for the last week and it's been rock solid. It hasn't moved. I haven't had any weird like buzzing from leads being jumbled around from hitting my bass drum too hard and it vibrating. I've been able to take muffling in and out of the shell as I want and not had to worry about the positioning of my microphone. It's made A/B testing things a lot better because again, I'm not concerned about things moving from test to test. It's just a nice little quality of life and it seems to be holding up just fine. Now, if all of this seems like way too much effort for you, just go and buy the Kelly Shoe products. I mean, they're great. They're fantastic for a reason and they're not that badly priced. But if you're like me and you want to save a few clams and you enjoy the occasional little DIY project, try this one out. It was pretty fun. Now, if you enjoyed today's video, please like and subscribe and let me know in the comments if there's any other cool DIY builds you'd like me to try my hand at. As well as that, if you could go over to the Patreon, check me out over there. And if you'd like to support the channel, I'd really appreciate it if you'd consider subscribing. It goes a very, very long way and we get to do cool stuff like this. Otherwise, see you on the next one.